This episode of the narrative film is the film sequence, the parts. A narrative film is the art of telling a story with film. It is largely visual in nature, but it is often supported and enhanced with sound. A narrative film is created by cutting the shots taken by a filmmaker and assembling them into a sequence. A shot is a single continuous run of film of a subject. A shot is a part of a sequence. A sequence is an assembly of shots. The series of shots that make up a sequence typically create a unit of action referred to as a scene. A scene is a unit of action that is self-contained. One scene is typically separated from another scene by either time or location. Typically, a series of different scenes make up a sequence. When one shot changes to another within a sequence, this is referred to as a transition. The type of transition used from one shot to another assists in the storytelling of the narrative film. The most common type of transition used in a film is the cut. A cut occurs when one clip immediately goes to the next clip. The word cut is derived from the fact that the film editor would literally cut one film and paste it to another film to create this effect. So let's see how this works. Here is a simple sequence. A young man finishes his call and looks at his cell phone. A cut to the phone establishing the time. A cut back to the young man as he gets up from his seat. A cut to a mirror. The young man improves his appearance. A cut to an establishing shot of an auditorium door. A cut back to the young man as he finishes primping and leaves the mirror. A cut to a hallway. A young man enters the hallway and continues his journey. A cut back to the auditorium door where the young man enters. A cut to the young man sitting in an auditorium chair. Not having any more information that the sequence gives us, we could entitle it, Getting Ready for the Meeting. We refer to this sequence as a linear sequence. This is because the shots are presented in such a way to give the impression that they follow the scene in chronological order without any passage of time, and that there appears to be a cause-to-effect relationship between the shots. All of the transitions in this sequence were cuts. We refer to these particular cuts as continuity cuts, because they're intended to create a continuity between shots. Continuity cuts are edited in such a way that you are not intended to be aware of the cuts at all. Another type of cut is a jump cut. This occurs when the cuts become obvious. There is no attempt to hide the cut, as is the case with continuity cutting. This is done for effect, perhaps to establish a frenetic pace. This was done very effectively in the new wave French film Breathless by famed director Jean-Luc Godard. Two other common transitions are dissolves and fades. The dissolve is a transition that creates the illusion that one shot is dissolving into another. This transition is most often used to cue the audience that there has been a passage of time. A sequence followed by a dissolve into a different sequence suggests that there has been a passage of time between the dissolves. The fade is a transition that evolved from the live theater tradition when the lights would fade up to begin a new scene and would fade out to indicate the end of a scene. The fade works in a similar fashion with film, often cueing the audience that a scene or a sequence is either ending or beginning. There are also many more unconventional types of transitions, such as the wipe, and the flash, which are designed to call attention to themselves and add spice to a sequence much in the same way as a jump cut. These are the parts that make up a film sequence. In summary, a shot is a single run of film of a subject. A sequence is an assembly of shots. A cut is a transition between two shots where the film cuts directly from one shot to the next. A continuity cut is a cut that attempts to disguise a cut and creates a sense of continuity between the shots. A jump cut is a cut that defies a sense of continuity and creates an artificial effect. A dissolve is a transition where one shot seems to dissolve into the next shot, often cueing the audience to a passage of time. A fade is a transition that is created when the screen fades from or to black, often used to indicate the beginning or ending of a scene or sequence. These are the basic parts of a sequence. In the next episode, we will take a look at various ways that a sequence can tell a story. We'll see you then.